Breaking news, Hegman destroys Cheney, just crushes her in a primary face-off last night. Trump's reaction? How you like me now, bitches? I'm Jasper Gonzo, and this is what's next.
Yes! Yes! Oh, yeah! Can you feel that, buddy? Huh? 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 I have exorcised the demons. This house is clear.
What's up, party people? Jasper Gonzo here. What's next? Your daily dose of common sense and facts. And what a massive upset. Not really. Hegman crushes Cheney in primary face-off. And we'll get Trump's reaction. But let's just go to the story. Here we go. This comes out of Breitbart. Liz Cheney compares herself to Abraham Lincoln in concession speech. Yes. Representative Liz Cheney compared herself to former President Abraham Lincoln. Sure. During her concession speech, shortly after getting crushed by Trump-backed Republican challenger Harriet Hageman. Cheney claims she lost her primary election only because she failed to go along with President Trump's lie about the 2020 election. No, not really. It would have required that I have been enabled to his ongoing efforts to unravel our democratic system. We're a republic, moron, and attack the foundations of our republic. That is a path I chose not to take and would not take, Cheney said. Cheney said her opposition to former President Donald Trump was rooted in the principles that members of Congress are sworn to protect, that she, well, understood the potential of political consequences of opposing Donald Trump. She then compared herself to the great Abraham Lincoln, who saved the nation during our Civil War. Quote, the great original champion of our party, Abraham Lincoln, was defeated in elections for the Senate and the House before he won the most important election of all, Cheney said. Lincoln ultimately prevailed. He saved our union and defined our obligation as Americans for all of history. She also quoted Lincoln's famous Gettysburg Address and claimed that Americans' highest duty is to protect the foundations of this constitutional republic. After comparing herself to Lincoln, Cheney focused on January 6 Capitol riots, of course, and claimed that America will never be the same if Americans do not hold those responsible to account. Yes, those riots led by Chewbacca, well over 200 Americans still in the gulags with no due process. But yeah, it's all about justice, right? Quote, at the heart of our attack on January 6th is the willingness to embrace dangerous conspiracies that attack the very core premise of our nation. Our nation is barreling once again towards crisis, lawlessness, and violence. Gee, because 2020 was so peaceful. Cheney added, no American should support election deniers at any position of genuine responsibility, where their refusal to follow the rule of law will corrupt our future. She also claimed that Trump is promoting an insidious lie about the recent FBI raid of Mar-a-Lago, which will provoke violence and threats of violence. Trump knows that voicing these conspiracies will provoke violence and threats of violence. If you didn't get it the first time, Cheney said. This happened on January 6th, and now it's happening again. It is entirely foreseeable that the violence will escalate further. Yet he and others continue to purposely feed the danger. Cheney mentioned Lincoln once more, and opined to Civil War era fighters like Lincoln and former President Ulysses S. Grant, speaking to us down the generations. Lincoln and Grant, and all who fought our nation's tragic Civil War, including my own great-grandfathers, saved our nation. Their courage saved freedom, Cheney said. And if you listen closely, they're speaking to us down from the generations. We must not idly squander what so many have fought and died for. Wow. Think of yourself that big? Holy shit. In conclusion, Cheney pledged to do whatever it takes to prevent Trump from regaining control of the presidency. You guys have been throwing everything against him for the last 6 years. Really? We must be very clear-eyed about the threat we face, about what is required to defeat it. I have said since January 6th that I will do whatever it takes to ensure Donald Trump is never again anywhere near the Oval Office, like losing. I ask you tonight to join me as we leave here. Not really. Let us resolve in what we stand for together, Republicans, Democrats, independents, against those who would destroy our republic, Cheney concluded. They are angry and they are determined, but they have not seen anything like the power of the Americans united in defense of our Constitution, committed to the cause of freedom. Wow. No egos there. We go from that to this. This also comes out of Breitbart. This is Harriet Hageman and her response in regards to winning last night's primary. Cheney lost due to obsessive focus on Trump when voters cared about inflation, energy, illegal immigration. Fact, fact, and more fact. But we'll hear from her in a little bit. On Tuesday's broadcast of Fox News Channel's Ingram Angle, Wyoming congressional candidate winner Harriet Hageman stated that her opponent, Liz Cheney, lost in part because she's not focusing on Wyoming. She's not focusing on the issues. She's still focusing on an obsession with President Trump. Fact, fact, and fact. And that inflation, illegal immigration, and energy were the most important issues to voters, not the former president. Again, fact, fact, and fact. Hegman said that while she didn't have a chance to listen to Cheney's speech, it doesn't surprise me that she would revert to those same old talking points, because that's what really in large part, got her defeated. She's not focusing on Wyoming. She's not focusing on the issues. She's still focusing on an obsession with President Donald Trump. But let's hear a little bit.
That part of her speech was a continued vow, Harriet, to make sure Donald Trump never steps foot in the White House after what happened on January 6th, which was not, I guess, not surprising that she said that, but your reaction tonight.
Well, again, I have not had an opportunity to even see or hear what she had to say because I've been kind of focused on what's going on here. It doesn't surprise me that she would revert to those same old talking points because that's really in large part what got her defeated. She's not focusing on Wyoming. She's not focusing on our issues. She's still focusing on an obsession about President Trump. And the citizens of Wyoming, the voters of Wyoming, sent a very loud message tonight. We have spoken, and that is not what we are interested in terms of our lone congressional representative.
Well said. Now we go from that, and to wrap it up, this comes out of the New York Post. This is Donald Trump's reaction. I assume that with the very big Liz Cheney loss, far bigger than ever been anticipated, the January 6th Committee of Political Hacks and Thugs will quickly begin the beautiful process of disillusion. This was a referendum on the never-ending witch hunt. The people have spoken. Congratulations to Harriet Hageman on her great and very decisive win in Wyoming. This is a wonderful result of America and complete rebuke of the unselect committee and political hacks and thugs. Liz Cheney should be ashamed of herself. The way she acted, her spiteful, sanctimonious words and actions towards others. Now she can finally disappear into the depths of political oblivion, where I'm sure she will be much happier than what she is right now. Thank you, Wyoming. What can you say? What can you say? Liz Cheney was so obsessed with Donald Trump that the voters of Wyoming said, no, 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 it's about inflation. It's about high gas prices. It's about high food prices. It's about high energy costs. That is what we care about. We don't give two fucks about Donald Trump. This is what affects me in my house right now. But no, Liz Cheney was like, January 6th, January 6th, January 6th, January 6th. She got up in the morning, January 6th. She went to bed at night, January 6th. And then those idiotic committees that were taking up valuable prime time, you know, away from soap operas and what have you. But it was about the people of Wyoming, not about Donald Trump. And then, of course, Donald Trump's reaction to it. Typical Donald Trump. And yes, I'm going to not only pour salt in that wound, but I'm going to jam my finger into it as well. And then on top of that, let me dump a gallon of alcohol to boot. More to come. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.